It started with a kitchen so efficient, it erased the chef. Then, a milkshake machine salesman bought the blueprint for just $2.7 million and changed America forever. Today, nearly half the country faces obesity, yet the real story behind this fast food empire's rise is far darker and more calculated than most realize. What hidden forces drove convenience to become a nationwide crisis? In the years after World War II, American life was reshaped by prosperity, sprawling suburbs, and a new love affair with the automobile. As families moved out of city centers and highways stretched across the country, eating habits changed. Drive-in restaurants popped up along busy roads, but service was slow and labor costs were high. In San Bernardino, California, brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald saw an opportunity. In 1948, they closed their drive-in for 3 months and started over. Gone were the car hops and the 25-item menu. In their place stood a walk-up counter, a menu trimmed to just burgers, fries, and drinks, and a kitchen laid out with military precision. The McDonald's did not guess their way to efficiency. They mapped their kitchen with chalk on a tennis court, moving workers like chess pieces to shave seconds off every motion. Each employee was assigned a single, repetitive task: grilling, dressing, frying, pouring, while paper cups and wrappers eliminated the need for dishwashers and busboys. Orders came out fast, cheap, and exactly the same every time. A hamburger with mustard, ketchup, onions, and 2 pickles, no substitutions. Customers handled their own waste, cutting even more labor. At first, locals scoffed at the no-frills approach, but soon the lines grew. The speedy service system, as they called it, turned food preparation into an assembly line, making cooks replaceable and the restaurant scalable in a way America had never seen. By 1956, the nation's highways, funded by the Federal Aid Highway Act, were connecting more towns and suburbs, setting the stage for this model to multiply across the country. Ray Kroc arrived in San Bernardino in 1954. A traveling milkshake machine salesman drawn by a restaurant that needed 8 multi-mixers just to keep up. What he found was a kitchen running with the precision of a factory, burgers, fries, and shakes, produced with such speed and sameness that he saw the blueprint for a national chain. Kroc persuaded the McDonald brothers to let him franchise their system, opening his first outlet in Des Plaines, Illinois, in 1955. But scaling up required more than just copying the menu. Harry Sonneborn, Kroc's financial advisor, proposed a different strategy: control the land beneath every restaurant. McDonald's would buy or lease each site, then rent it to franchisees at a markup. This real estate model turned the corporation into a landlord, collecting steady rent while franchisees shouldered daily operations and labor costs. By 1961, Kroc bought out the McDonald brothers for $2.7 million, gaining full control of the company and its name. Fred Turner, who started as a grillman, codified every step of the operation in manuals and training programs, ensuring that a McDonald's burger tasted the same in Illinois as it did in California. Other chains took notice. Colonel Sanders franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken across highways. James McLamore and David Edgerton built Burger King in Florida, while Dave Thomas launched Wendy's in Ohio. Each adopted the franchise model, standardized food, and cost-cutting labor, setting off a race to cover the country with cheap, uniform meals. The template was set: real estate, rigid procedures, and a workforce designed to be as replaceable as the food was predictable. By the 1970s, fast food companies were no longer just selling burgers. They were engineering cravings. Psychologist Howard Moskowitz called this the bliss point, a formula fine-tuned to override natural signals of fullness. Food scientists ran hundreds of taste tests, adjusting salt, sugar, and fat, until they found the precise combination that made people want more. In kitchens and laboratories, sensory panels and focus groups became tools for building foods that felt irresistible, from fries to milkshakes. In 1963, McDonald's introduced Ronald McDonald, a clown who became a fixture on children's television and at in-store events, speaking directly to kids long before they understood what was in their meals. The real breakthrough came in 1979. The Happy Meal was the first fast food meal packaged with a toy, transforming a trip to the drive-thru into a ritual of reward and play. Public health experts watched with alarm as these strategies took hold. According to data from the CDC, the share of American children and teens with obesity more than tripled between the 1970s and the early 2000s. Researchers linked the rise to a flood of calorie-dense, highly marketed foods, and to the early capture of brand loyalty before children could read a nutrition label. Inside the factories that supply America's fast food, the cost of cheap meals falls hardest on workers and their communities. By the early 1990s, some IBP beef plants logged over 40 injuries per 100 workers each year, about 5 times the national average. Tyson Foods, now a dominant supplier, has faced repeated OSHA investigations for high rates of amputations and chronic pain among employees. The push for efficiency and low prices has driven meatpacking jobs from unionized city plants to rural, non-union assembly lines, where rapid line speeds and relentless repetition leave bodies broken and turnover near 100%. Outside the plants, concentrated animal feeding operations produce more than 1 billion tons of manure annually, about 130 times the waste generated by the entire U.S. human population. EPA records link these facilities to massive spills, fish kills, and air thick with ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, causing pollution especially in low-income rural areas. Since deregulation in the 1970s and 1980s, a handful of firms like Tyson and Cargill have come to control nearly 80% of beef packing and over half of pork and chicken production. The public health toll is visible nationwide. More than 42% of American adults now live with obesity, with diet-related diseases costing hundreds of billions of dollars each year. In many low-income neighborhoods, maps show fast food outlets far outnumbering grocery stores, creating food deserts where convenience replaces nutrition. For millions, the true price of a dollar menu is paid in injury, illness, and environmental decline. Every meal is a choice shaped by systems built for profit, not health. As fast food fills more plates, the true cost grows. It is felt in bodies, communities, and futures. Choose with eyes open. Oh, and I almost forgot. YouTube thinks you might like this video next, so let me know if they are right.